Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, hello. Welcome, guys. I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watches. Also for the people who randomly find themselves on my video without any Pisces anything, no dealing with a Pisces, no nothing in your chart, yet you're still very much resonating. These messages are actually universal. And it's important for us to recognize that regardless of what's in the title, these messages are universal and they belong to whoever resonates. All right. And you guys, if you've been spending months upon months trying to get the message to resonate, waiting for someone who you don't even know who you're waiting for, message is probably not for you. It's probably not for you. And that's okay. Don't try and force these messages to fit. All right. Oh, good God. So my face is obviously much better. Still have a little bit. It's perfectly fine. Let us see. So I was asking the energies, what is this reading going to be about? And the whole topic of obsessions, fixations came up, and it's worsening. I don't know if this fixation is stemming from you or someone has become fixated with you. It's very, very common, especially for Pisceans, to become the subject of someone's fixation. Okay. That doesn't mean diddly. It doesn't mean diddly, doesn't mean we're better. It just means it's much easier for people to become very fascinated. Oh, I don't know. Obsessed. Obsessed. Thank you, Amanda. Again, I don't know how I feel about this. When I'm given a very clear indication of it's a positive thing, like, oh, they love you, they want to be with, then I share that with you. This, I don't know if it's two people or if the person, all seriousness, is bipolar, because it's like what you feel very strongly like, but then you feel like, did that make sense? I don't know if that made sense. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, like, I don't know if like your the fixation is ramping. It's ramping up. And I don't know if the fixation is increasing because they, at one point you guys shared some sort of connection. I shouldn't say that. Michael said I shouldn't say that. So there's either someone who you probably would welcome in, but it's taking them a little bit to become comfortable with how they would approach. And another very clear message. That's why Michael told me not to say that. It is stalker again. I'm so sick of this stalker and this twin message. Like, these two motherfuckers need to just, you're either gonna say something or you're not. You're either gonna get some help for your obsession issues or you're not. But I see it as find someone else to obsess over. Pisces, we always manage to call to us like the weirdest shit ever. I'm just saying. Here it is. We always manage to call to us the weirdest circumstance ever, the weirdest connections ever, ever. Sometimes the weird is a positive. Sometimes the weird is just like, what the actual fuckity fuck is this? And I don't know. We're going to have to make sense of this. Let's make sense of this. It's the beginning. It's our healing nature, you know? I'm so glad you brought that up. I think all of this has a high tendency for Pisces to experience because Pisces refuses to acknowledge our wounds. We try and heal everyone else. And so our soul keeps bringing us the most toxic shit to force us to recognize we have the opportunity and the responsibility to ourselves to choose ourselves, to choose ourselves. Until you guys a few years back. Actually, it's happened several times. It's kind of my pattern now. It's kind of my pattern now. So years upon years ago, I met someone. We got connected through conspiracy shit. And that was the first twin energy that I had experienced. Okay. Luckily, he embodies that it's I don't even know what his mood was, but it felt like that very gentle Piscean energy. Oh, he's a Pisces cusp. and and he wasn't crazy. He was very gentle. So when I walked away, he was just like, okay, not gonna stop you. And that was nice. And then and I didn't know about twin stuff then because I think I was like 18. And then I met another twin years later, and he was a dark one, like really dark. I was like, oh, perfect. And at that point, I was already familiar with the twin distortion, the distorted teachings about twins, and he was aware of that too. And that was nice as well because when that friendship kind of faltered, he wasn't obsessive. He was just like, all right, well, fuck you too. We're still friends. To this day, we're still friends. And once in a while he'll message and it's all good. And then I met another one after that. Um and it was like, okay, what are these things that keep popping up when I meet someone who's of that resonance? And it's like aspects of myself coming back. These are just aspects, aspects of myself that are embodied in someone else. Things that maybe my husband has been trying to tell me about and I don't want to hear from him. And so I block it off like, no, you don't know what you're talking about, like whatever. But when you see it in action, you see your behavior in action, being done by someone who basically shares your resonance, then you're like, oh shit, what the fuck. So the first couple ones that I had met, they didn't have that kind of effect. I mean, I definitely could feel there was like a very strong soul connection, not necessarily romantic. Okay, no. It's okay. So I don't want to lie to you guys. The very first twin person that I had come across that was actually an ex-boyfriend. So you're gone. You're gone. Um, Unfortunately for him, I met my husband right after him, and I like my husband a lot, even from the start. So I'm just not interested in any of them. But what ended up happening, the most, the last one that I met, that one was the one that was able to without trying get me to see my behaviors. Seeing my behaviors hurt my feelings. It just yeah, no, there was no argument, there was none of that. I just saw, like, a major reflection of myself, and I didn't like it. And so, yeah, you gotta go too. And I don't know where all of this goes, but I do know that they all reflect aspects of myself. The deeper that connection, and again, I'm not talking about romantic connection. I'm talking about some sort of like soul bond. The deeper that goes, the more intensely you'll be able to witness the distortions, the toxicity within yourself, because oftentimes my toxicity is very, very silent. These are inner things, inner machinations. I heard Michael say inner machinations. Um, no, I think we are able to connect very, very, very deeply with other people without romance. Pisceans, that is. And it creates so much problem. It creates so much problem because it's like I tell my husband, he's not Piscean. He's Gemini, and he is like ridiculously friendly, extremely charming, extremely charismatic. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I'm not saying this as a jealous wife. I'm saying this as like your best friend. These bitches think you're flirting with them. He goes, but no. What did he say? I don't know. He knows I'm not jealous. And I'm just like, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, this is the effect you have without realizing. He goes, but I'm not flirting. And I was like, see, you're friendly. And because this world is such a harsh ass world, they mistake your friendly as like, oh, he's interested. Like, boo, he's friendly with everybody. He's friendly in the drive-through. He's friendly for the coffee. I don't believe he's flirting at all. I believe he is just a friendly person. He has a beautiful energy about him. People are drawn to him. And it's like you show someone who's drawn to you some attention, all of a sudden, ooh, they want me too. And it's like, but he and I, we're not desperate for connection with people like that. We have such a deep, intense connection that it's like, you can be friendly with whoever you want. We're looking only at each other. So it's this thing where I think a lot of distortion has created um some really toxic expectation. I don't know if the toxic expectation comes from you or if it's from whoever you're dealing with. For most, I think it's from whoever you're dealing with, where um I'm just trying to Pisces. We have this thing where we really can make people feel as though they're the only person alive on this earth. And that's just the way we love. It doesn't even matter who it is. If I love you and you need me, even if you don't verbalize it, I will cater to you like you have never been catered to. And I will love you in ways where you just there's no question about it. Like you've never been loved like that before. And it's not because I'm better than anybody. And it sucks that I have to keep emphasizing that. It's because I have the capacity to love that many, not most, many people choose to believe they don't have. And it doesn't do anything for my worth or your worth. No, these are just observations. These are observations. And when you've never received that type of love, where I really I'm just loving on you. I'm not doing this because later on I'm gonna collect. You're gonna owe me a favor. No, I just love you. And I love everybody like that. Everybody. It's just how I love. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people who are starved of connection will experience this and be like, "Oh my god, she's my twin." I promise you don't want me as a twin. I promise you that. What you experience with me on live streams is not what you will experience with me as a twin, especially as a twin ray. I become much more sensitive and much more easily hurt by just you breathing as a twin. Oh, why are you breathing that way? Are you mad? Why did it take you so long to say no? Why did you say no like that? Oh my god. And that's all within my own head. I won't ever say it to you. So you're left wondering why now I only answer 1 out of every 10 messages. Okay. So, healing. It's time for you to heal. Heal your mind and your sense of personal power. It's time for that to occur. And you have to go with the flow for that healing. Allow yourself to be bathed, to really just be marinated in that healing energy. Okay. In that healing energy. I think a lot of Pisceans are like that too, Jody. I agree with you. So, card number 15, elixir of life. It's time for you to begin slowing down enough to just kind of breathe life in. Pisceans they appear to be very chill and go with the flow externally, externally. Because our waters run so deep, the turbulence almost never reaches the surface. Ooh, that's deep. Someone like quote that and email it to me. Because our waters run so deep, the internal turbulence almost never reaches the surface. So people don't know what we're going through. People don't know their effects on us. People don't know, people don't know, people don't know. It's not for them to know, it's for you to know. You're not here to teach the world about yourself. You're here to allow the world to remind you of who you are. And sometimes that reminder comes in the form of challenge, where there will be individuals or circumstance that's going to try and tell you that you're someone you're not. Whether that be a good thing or a bad thing, like a positive or a negative label, it's still a label. And what happens to a fish if you slap a sticker across its side? Most likely you have negatively impacted that fish. Most likely you have negatively affected that slime coat that keeps parasites out. Really let this sink in. When you begin handling a fish, especially if you handle it roughly, um, you affect the slime coat. They have a coating of slime that really helps to keep pathogens, bacteria, whatever, out of their system. And people are mishandling you left and right, Pisces. And you allow them to do this silently. I'm getting all riled up. Hold up. I need me a little. All right. Sublingual CBD is the shit. So, why do we do this? Why do we allow our worth to be determined by someone who has been accustomed to simply taking? And we have to take ownership of this. I used to get very angry, very silently, and feel as though people are just constantly using me. Is that the truth, girlfriend? No, it's not the truth. Let me not lie to myself. I constantly volunteer, constantly make it a point to force people to allow me to help. This was before. And I create this pattern and I sustain this pattern until I'm depleted. And I won't let anyone know. And the moment I become depleted, as they've become accustomed to me constantly giving, constantly being present, constantly giving, constantly being present, I begin to falter. I begin to feel as though I just can't do this anymore. And they don't know that. And because all they know is me being strong and me overgiving. And it's normal. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. No, it's okay. It's no big deal. I could do it. I could do it. I could do it. You can't, girl. You can't do it because now you're depleted. And guess what? Now you're bitter because you're so good at playing the role of being someone strong and someone who doesn't need anything and someone who's just so chill that they don't realize you are suffering so deeply, so silently. And now you're pissed off that they don't see, well, I can't believe, I'm always there for everybody and no one's ever there for me. Do people even know they need to be there for you? Do people even know how much you're hurting? Do they? I mean, do you even know? I was having a conversation with my husband yesterday, um, and it kind of dawned on me. So we've known each other for over 20 something years at this point, and I was like, this whole time you've known me, has there ever been a period where I wasn't depressed? And he goes, "Well," he goes, "Well, we had so many kids kind of back to back, and you never really got a chance to rebound and like come back to yourself." And I was like, "No, even before we began having children, was there any period where I wasn't depressed, where there wasn't something wrong?" He was like, "Actually, no." hmm So I'm pretty certain my entire life I've been in a state of functional depression where the depression is so easily hidden that no one really knows. No one really knows. And you just keep trucking along, keep trucking along, keep trucking along. And so now you have to allow yourself to remind yourself that it's okay for you to make your dreams real. Excuse me. Card number 32. Make your dreams real. What are your dreams? Pisceans, like that Piscean energy. Your dream is not about creating some sort of notoriety, some celebrityhood, and having all of these like material goods and yeah. No, it's more of like I just really want a life that I feel like I can be myself. I feel like I can just be loved just for being me and really just because we're just so romantic. It's kind of disgusting at this point. I could just have this partner that's just beautiful and it's a perfect, perfect relationship. We never argue, we never disagree, and like we just love the same things and we do everything together. I mean, Pisceans, really listen to what I had just said. When this video is over, replay that 22 minutes. It's the 22-minute mark. Do you really want to be in a relationship with someone? Or are you describing the perfect relationship with yourself? Are you describing what you wish you had between the self and the soul, where it's in full alignment, where you can enjoy everything that you experience? You can be fully present. You're not arguing with yourself. You're not feeling torn because of the fact that you've now once again volunteered for shit that doesn't resonate with you, that doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Yeah, that is it. Pisceans have this ability to really externalize all of this internal situation. Pisceans, we have the ability to go so deep and not need to come up for air that anyone you try and drag down to your depths will drown, unless I don't even know if Cancer can handle it, unless it's a Scorpio. But that comes with its own set of what the fuck? Hey, not bashing Scorpios, not bashing Scorpios. But Pisceans, you better like reconcile the differences within yourself because really the reason I laugh is this. If you are needing someone to go as deep as you're basically looking for a mirror, right? And if you have toxicity, the mirror you are seeking out is toxic too. The last thing you want is a toxic Scorpio. I'm just saying, if the Scorpio is balanced, it's a beautiful thing. It's a seriously, seriously beautiful, beautiful thing. Like they can go as deep as you. I have some of my besties are Scorpio, balanced Scorpio. That is the key. Every single sign will have balance and imbalance. Every single sign. The one sign, maybe two signs. The two signs I will not fuck with you if you are not balanced: Scorpio and Aquarius. Scorpio just gets dark for whatever the fuck reason they feel like it. Aquarius, they don't go dark. If you've ever pissed off an Aquarius, I hope you've healed. They will tear down in ways that you probably won't survive. Those two, because Aquarius is so fucking intelligent. Oh, and I'm an Aquarius cusp too. So I recognize that's where, like, if I get triggered previously, I will tear you down. I will smile. Not no more. We're letting more of that Pisces, the healing parts of the Piscean rise up and kind of move you through your path in a more compassionate way. Card number 24, new birth guarded vigilantly. New birth guarded vigilantly. The parts of you that are being rebirthed, they need your protection. If you are still not fully entrenched in this growth, if you are still kind of like, well, I'm growing and you need to not be around people who are going to make you feel as though your growth is bad, it's wrong, it's less than. No, you do not need to be around that. And I tell you right now, I am giving you permission. I'm not really anybody to you, but I am giving you permission to excuse yourself from a table that's only serving toxic shit. Not everyone in your life is going to celebrate with you, be genuinely happy about your successes, and that's okay. You don't need them to celebrate in order for your validation to occur. You need to validate yourself. Validate yourself. It's okay for you to celebrate yourself. It is okay for you to be happy on your own. Pisces sign is 2 fish. Both those fish are you. Don't play yourself. That's what I heard Michael say. Don't play yourself. Yeah, no, both of those fish are you. Those are your 2 aspects. That is the self and the soul, bared, shown naked in front of the world. Because witnessing you in your process of self-healing actually is very healing for other people. It's very, very healing for other people to see you entering this phase where you no longer need permission. You no longer have to play this role. Pisceans get called fake all the time. I'll tell you, there's some truth in that. The people who call Pisceans fake, who say we constantly faking shit, they fail to realize, because I'm gonna talk shit real quick. Their consciousness is so fucking pea brain that they don't understand. We're trying to accommodate you. Granted, it can come off as being fake, but understand, the reason we do this is because some part of us recognizes the depth and the potency of our power, and we feel bad for you. So we shrink ourselves. We water ourselves down to be easier to tolerate, because heaven forbid you become uncomfortable being around someone who recognizes their greatness. And recognizing your greatness has nothing to do with comparing and putting other people down. It has nothing to do with that. Me making a statement that I know my greatness is not me making a statement that I think I'm better. That's someone else's own toxicity. Okay. And let them say whatever they want to say. But you need to stop perpetuating that by continuing to play a role, whatever role you think other people are expecting from you, whatever role you're feeling like, oh, but if I don't, what the fuck is that voice? If I don't, stop. Just stop. Actions show who a person is. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yep. And amen to that. My Pisces isn't fake by any means. Yep. Some people would say that I'm fake because I have such extreme abilities of loving and fighting. That's all in how you approach me. I can love you just as deep as I can fight with you. It's all in how you approach me. And sometimes it's all in how I choose to receive your approach. Okay, card number 38, acceptance of love. Okay. Um, yeah. What is this reading about? Obsessions, yeah? So who's actually obsessed with who? I think for some Pisceans, um, this can be one of a few things, okay? Either you're obsessed with them and you don't want to admit this to yourself, so you're feeling like you need to focus on their obsession with you. So it's reciprocated, but you don't want to admit to yourself that it's reciprocated. So that's one aspect. Another one would be you're not really drawn to them, but because you're so highly intuitive and not addressing that intuition, not developing it, it might be that you're picking up on their extreme attraction to you, and you're confusing it for your own feelings. It's like a very elevated type of empathy. So I don't know. Might not even be your feelings, this is definitely the conversation I had with Michael recently. Because really all of these people that I've identified as some type of twin, were they really? What were they really? Was there really that depth of soul connectivity, or was it just these people have never met someone like me? And that was a huge, I guess, draw. Fucking cat hair. I'm grossed out. I love my cat. Okay. So they've never met anyone like you before, and it was such a huge draw to them because you're so unique. And that increased their some sort of attraction towards you, and that's what you picked up on. And it doesn't even have to be a romantic attraction. I recognize about myself, and I recognized this years ago. Years ago, when someone is like very attracted to me, I tend to feel that I'm like, oh, I'm attracted to you too. When I was a teenager, and I'd be like, but I'm not. I, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm just not. And that would create a lot of problems. It would create a lot of problems because what feelings are mine and what aren't? I'd never know. So, acceptance of love. For some of us, I don't know who the tree is. It might be you standing in your truth, just really rooted in your truth, and they're there like a vine. And for some of us, you might be the vine that's wrapped around their trunk. I don't know. It's so hard to tell. And I don't want to leave it as like if you're the female, you're the vine. I have very masculine energy. I look very female, but my energy is much more masculine than it is feminine. So I don't know. You would have to decide for yourself which one is you. Are you the tree or are you the vine? For some, the message is you're both. For some, this message of um, you need to allow yourself to not be choked by the vines of your growth, that you need to have appreciation for that, and that you can exist with symbiosis. These aspects of you can work together and become something so beautiful. So beautiful. So card number 4, focus. Uh Again, another blip about Sagittarius. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Sagittarius. It's making me breathe deep. I don't know what that means. So I wonder if maybe part of the okay, it's not. Mecca goes, it's not. I was gonna say, I wonder if part of the message is in recognizing that you're being pulled backwards to be launched forwards. It's not. Oh. Part of this message is that you are the archer. You are that archer, and sometimes you have to recognize that the relationships you have in your life serve as the bow. The arrow is your growth. Without that bow, that thing to launch the arrow forward, the arrow is kind of useless. So, this is what some of your connections with people are. They serve as nothing more than the bow, the very thing that is used to launch your growth forward. Triggers. These are people who trigger you. I have many of those. I have many of those. Okay. Oh, so you're not just about arrows, you're also about planting. Card number 27, the gardener. Oh, just felt my eyeballs rock. Um, for some of us, the whole gardener thing, you are the gardener and I'm sorry, my they're still rocking. For some of us, you are the gardener and you have to like cultivate your garden. You have to pull out whatever things are affecting the growth of what you have planted. All right. I'm getting motion sickness. Whatever massive fucking shift, it's huge. Something just shifted right now. Like the bottoms of my eyes are still like, and I'm just trying really hard to not sway with it. It's not my ears. I know this type of sensation. This is shifts in consciousness. Um, it's not my ears. It's not inner ear problems. I don't suffer from vertigo. I'm very sensitive to energy, and it's like an overlay of me is being pulled side to side to side, and that's what's causing the rocking sensation of my eyes. But you don't even see my eyes moving. So, so the gardener. Part of the message part of the message that I'm getting is that at some point, without your permission, without your acknowledgement, um, someone has planted seeds in your garden and they have allowed you to be the one to care for those seeds. Uh, oh, shit. Are you kidding me? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you have a garden, when you tend to that garden, you are infusing that organic material with your energy. It's even been said, I don't know the validity, the accuracy of this statement. Okay. I just want to say that first. It's said that if you spit on your seeds, part of your DNA will soak into the seed and the resulting plant will be calibrated for you. Okay. It's basically it's growing very much connected to you. Um, I do know how to use specific herbs, specific plant matter for magical purpose. That's something that the memories were left intact from previous lives as all sorts of magical shit. And I know I have a deep knowing if I grow something, the potency of my energy is infused in every single fiber of that plant. And now Someone's planted something in your emotional, mental, and energetic garden. You have been tending to that as you tend to your other seeds, not realizing these seeds were planted. This is bad. This is very, very serious and very, very bad. For me personally, if someone did this to me, that is an act of motherfucking spiritual war. War. That is an act of war. So, to determine, is this a personal message for me, Michael? He laughed. He's just like, go back to your reading. Okay, okay. So this message is for you guys. This message is for you guys, for quite a few of you. Show me. So this is for a specific group of souls, okay? And it's a very large group, a very specific group contained within the blue ray family. Many of us have been filtered through blue ray. Not all blue rays are benevolent. There is a portion of that blue ray family that was distorted, used, and was part of the fallen patriarchal toxicity paradigm. Okay. So I get 3 months, 6 months, and for some, as far as 9 months. So 3 months ago, an individual was brought to some of you, those who are in this soul family. Seeds were planted. Okay. Seeds were planted. 6 months before that, or so 3 months at the 3-month mark, 3 months ago, and then 6 months ago, another or maybe the same individual was brought planting more seeds. Okay. More seeds, more seeds, more seeds. 3, 6, and 9. These are the distorted numbers. What was 9 months ago? January. What was going on then? I can't remember. January, March, and June. Look back at your life. Look back at your life and see January, March, and June. What was going on for your personal circumstance? Because I'm looking back at I don't believe Michael half the time. I'm like, yeah, I better fucking make sure no one planted seeds in my shit because I'm about to go buck fucking wild over that. And January, I was highly insulated. My aunt passed away. So I was super withdrawn into myself. March, my mom's birthday, I was super withdrawn into myself. June, my mom's 1-year death anniversary, I was super withdrawn into myself. Okay, I believe you. Whatever. So Gardner, just think about that. I know when I'm super withdrawn into myself from depression type things, really, really elevated sadness, I'm just cocooned AF. Nothing gets through, whether it's messages, good things, bad things, nothing gets through. I'm just like, I'm on vacay. Return to sender. I'm on vacay. Fuck the message. Fuck the job. I don't give a shit. I'm just, nope, nope, nope. But that's it. 3, 6, and 9. So 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago. That would be, yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. So choices. Choices. Card number 46. Choices. All right. You have some choices to make. Is that an owl? That's a hawk. I'm told it's a hawk. Don't look like a hawk. That looks more like a golden eagle. But okay, I heard hawk. I'll go with hawk. Hum, hum, hum. Okay, you're caught up in too many details, so step back so you can get a greater perspective on the situation. Stay alert and focused on the task before you, eliminating as many distractions as possible. Spend some time observing and studying the situation. When it's time for action, make it quick and decisive. So I'm wondering 3, 6, and 9, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago. I'm wondering if this is when the whole stalkerish behavior began, right? Stalkerish as fuck behavior. I'm wondering if that was a time it was like becoming established because Pisces, no, this is a life lesson. Okay. 144.51. Love it. No, this is a life lesson. And the lesson is this: when you feel weird shit, speak up. I know for me personally, one of my stalkers asked a question in private, and I didn't want to be mean. I didn't wanna be mean. And, I gave a very, politically correct type of answer. But what I wanted to say was, "You're being really weird right now, and it's making me feel awkward." And I think if maybe I had just, like, stated that right then and there, I think that was in January too. If I had stated that right then and there, maybe it would've adjusted the distortions they were seeing, okay? So sometimes being mean is the thing that eliminates an issue later down the line. So choices, make your choices, okay? Um, Pay close attention to your surroundings as you're about to receive an important message. Be aware of any personal or psychic attacks and be prepared to defend yourself. Stop trying to change others or the situation and work instead on accepting things as they are. So, yeah, nothing I would have said would have worked. Fine, whatever. Um, let's see. Very interesting. Okay. Card number 23, Panacea. There's a solution for every problem. You won't rise and receive that solution so long as you keep yourself bound to a burden. Okay. If you allow yourself to continue to be bound to a burden of like, "Oh, I don't want to be mean," and whatever else we tell ourselves, don't allow people who speak with forked tongues to hold symposium. Okay. Do not allow people who speak with forked tongues to hold symposium within you. Speaking to you in real life, over the internet, having conversations with you in your head, no. Access to you should be severed. Severed. Chop, chop. Okay. So with that, card number 20, softly, softly, the tender touch. There's this like flip-flopping of message. Are you the one with a fork tongue? Is that what it is? Softly, softly, the tender touch. I'm wondering if these distortions, these distorted beliefs you have about yourself is causing you to speak to yourself with a forked tongue. When you have a forked tongue like a snake, the tongue is split. The tip of the tongue is split. If the tongue is part of the delivery method, one of the components to deliver communication, if at the very tip it's forked, that means you don't know if you're receiving truth or lies. Have you been lying to yourself about yourself? Either with communication to yourself that you are somehow negative, or if you're refusing to see the negatives that you're participating in or creating. Let's face it, Pisces is absolutely capable of participating in or creating toxic shit. We all are. We all are. We're not always the victim here. It's not always someone else doing things to us. Sometimes it's us doing it to ourselves. Michael says, "Is it?" All right. Most of the time, usually it is us doing it to ourselves. Okay. And yeah, no, I was totally serious earlier about like, oh my God, why did they breathe like that? They're mad at me. Oh my God, they're mad at me because they breathed different. Pisces do that. Oh. Hmm. We're being asked to slow down so we can experience a moment of aloneness. You're being asked to slow down and experience aloneness, not because you're being punished, not because you're in danger, but because there is too much chaos. When you have a puddle of water and you're trying to use it as a mirror to see, what happens when a whole bunch of people are stomping all over in the water? You cannot see. So now it's time to be rid of all the distractions. I know that's kind of mean, huh? Like, oh shit, so everyone in my life is a distraction. No, I'm talking about the way you receive the information from everyone in your life. You allow it to distract you. All right. Um, because the hawk message, you're caught up in too many details. So step back so you can get a greater perspective on the situation. Stay alert and focus on the task before you, eliminating as many distractions as possible. Spend some time observing and studying the situation. And when it's time for action, make it quick and decisive. Hmm. Potential. There is potential for this to get very ugly. Okay, Pisces. Fucking A. And there it goes. I've never received this message for this card. This card has always been a positive feeling, positive message. There is an attempt to block Piscean potential, to block your intuition. Intuition enters in through the third eye and is sent through pathways for your conscious mind to process. Something or someone is attempting to block your messages from your soul. I heard black magic. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. Is this message for me? 9 months ago, the number 9. Is this message for me? Is this my personal message too? Don't just sit there quietly. I want to know, is this message for me? Okay, whatever. He says not everything's about you. Card number 23, you're worth it. You are worth whatever it takes to get you peace. Okay? And some might be like, oh my God, is she encouraging her? Is she encouraging people to like be mean to other? No, I'm encouraging you to dominate your own sacred space. Why on earth do we allow ourselves to be convinced by other people when they try and convince us that being number one in my own aura, my own sacred space, is somehow bad? I should be my priority in my spiritual journey. I should be my priority when it comes to my emotional and mental health. Why would I put anyone else above that? It was me putting people above myself that got me into this very distorted sense of self to begin with. Every single time you shelve your needs so you can cater to someone else, that creates ripples of distortion. It's the equivalent of every time the water becomes still in that puddle, you go ahead and you take your big ass foot and you stomp in that again. Well, I don't know. I can't see. Well, get your big ass hobbit foot out of your puddle. Self. I have big feet. So you're worth it. You're absolutely worth it. Your illumination stands beside you. Your light is beside you. Okay. Your light is beside you. There you are. Ooh, that's one hell of a message. There you are, Pisces. Hiding away, waiting for someone to come and save you, when in reality, you have your own boat. If you wait for something big to come to shore to save you, you are going to strand them as well as yourself. Get in your little dinghy boat, row yourself out to sea, Not all the way out to sea. Roll it to row it to that boat. Sorry, that big ass boat. Because I think what's on that boat, that ship, I don't fucking know nautical terms, okay? Yo no soy marinero. Soy capitan. Okay. Yeah, that's your soul trying to get you off this deserted island that you're hiding on. That's your soul. Stargazer lilies. That's important. That's important. Hold on. Ta-ta. Okay. Stargazer lilies represent purity and chastity, commitment, determination, success, passion, and fulfillment of dreams. Okay. They're often used for religious practice too. Prosperity and abundance. Pink ones represent prosperity and abundance. Um, let's see. Transcending spiritual barriers. What? Um, ooh, okay. Woodruff selected the name Stargazer because of the way the blooms of this lily pointed towards the sky. So maybe it's time for you to point your attention, direct your attention upwards towards the sky and receive your messages. Receive your messages from soul. Receive, receive, receive. It is okay to receive. It is okay for you to receive. Leaving your hand open is not begging. Leaving your hand open is allowing your potentiality to be limitless. You're not a bad person or taking from someone else because creation puts something into your hand. You cannot take with an open hand. Taking is grabbing, it's not grabbing from someone else. You have to allow yourself to receive. So direct your focus to the stars, to your guardians and guides. This is just some shit. I feel like some shit's about to happen. I feel like some shit's about. I need to hurry up with this. And all right, you have to make a decision to focus on the light. Okay. In that decision to focus on the light, you're going to need to elevate your adaptability. If you allow your adaptability, to serve you, and Pisceans are highly adaptive. We are highly adaptive. Okay. Card number 42, confidence. If you allow this adaptability to serve you, then you will gain confidence in your ability to guide yourself, protect yourself, all of that. You have to set personal boundaries because that friendliness that you have for other people is going to lead. See, they don't even want you to see. It's going to lead to sorrow. Ooh, 9 again. Friendliness. See, the number 2 is guidance. Leading you somewhere, and it's leading you to sorrow. 9 months ago, I feel like whatever it was initiated about 9 months ago. Remember, set personal boundaries. Okay, set those boundaries. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for having some sort of standards for yourself. Okay, the people who get upset that you have boundaries and standards and this and that, they're the people who want to take advantage of you. You're getting in the way of them taking advantage of you, draining you, feeding off of you, abusing you. So who gives a shit what they think? I'm sorry that I'm not sorry that you're mad that you can no longer access me in that way. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry that you can no longer abuse me. And I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt that you now can't manipulate me. And I'm sorry, but all of that's a lie because I'm not sorry. Card number 30. White Rose of Hope. Yeah, there. There. That's the thing. There's all this shadow. That's not her hair. I don't believe that's her hair. There's all this shadow aspect. I'm such a support my arm. Okay, stop fucking around, girl. There's all this shadow trying to cloud your thoughts, so you can't focus on the fact that, you are growing into a beautiful, beautiful blossom, one full of purity and integrity. If you continue to allow this to affect you, and look, there's even smoke, smog, whatever the hell that is. It's really an attempt to try and distract you from your own process. That's fine. Have you ever meditated in thick fog? Actually, have you ever driven in thick fog? Formerly living in California, San Francisco Bay Area, um, it was always foggy in the morning, especially cold weather. It wasn't as foggy in the summer, but come fall time, come early springtime, very, very, very foggy. And there would be times where you can't even, it's like zero visibility. And most people would be scared driving through that. I wasn't. I wasn't. It was like a meditation, the vibration of the car, along with all the other senses being very greatly restricted. Um, it's like a meditation. All of these things that I would run away from in my mind, they would come front and center. And then it would become time for me to really address the very reasons why I would run from these thoughts. So it's like a meditation. Allow the dark deeds of others, allow the malicious intent to be the very thing that serves as the fuel for your rise. So many people have tried so hard for so long to tear me down, to shut me up, hide me away, put me in a box, label me as evil. Bitches, it's you that's gotten to me to the point where now I'm where I'm supposed to be. It's because of them. It's because of them. And had I just been allowed to become complacent and quiet, I would have been perfectly content being hidden away. Because I like that. I like not being seen. I like not being heard. I like people not knowing who I am. I like to just quietly observe without saying a word. And it's the very challenges that were presented to me that made me rebellious to my own comfort. Like, oh, you want me to shut up, bitch? Let me talk a little bit more. Oh, you want me to disappear, bitch? Let me do a few more live streams today. Just to show you, fuck you. You don't get a say in my journey. You don't get a say in my life. A measly little human consciousness will never undo the will of my soul. That's cute. You think you can take on a soul? No, you can't. I couldn't even stop it. And it's my soul. So if you think there are going to be people who'll be able to stop you, if they are able to stop you, is that really where you were supposed to go anyways? Was that really the path you were supposed to take? Or are you so fixated on how this is what I believe should be, this is what I believe should be, this is where I'm supposed to go, and failing to realize your soul has been telling you, no, redirect, no, refocus, remember. But you're just convinced you know. So you're going to go over there, you're going to go over there. And so your soul will bring you people who will challenge you, who will block that flow and redirect. And that's every single time this happens to me. I reach higher and higher levels of consciousness. Is it because I'm attacking other people? No. It's because other people are attacking me. And instead of wasting my time defending myself and trying to explain and convince other people, like, no, 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 don't believe them. Instead of that, I'm redirected to believe in myself. Everyone else can believe whatever they want because the people who will believe this bullshit that's being spread about you, They were already kind of thinking stuff. They just didn't have any proof for themselves to justify this malicious internal condemnation of you. The people who truly love you and appreciate you, they won't just blindly believe these things. They'll be like, there's no way. There's no way. There's just no way. I mean, I know I do that. If someone tells me some really ugly shit about someone else, which that's very rare these days, because the people already know, like, I'm just going to go straight to the person. Hey, is it true? Hey, someone came up to me and said, like, you're doing some really fucked up. Is it true? They already know. Don't pull me into your bullshit because I'll go straight to the person. I'm not going to say, you said, oh, do you know what so and so said? I'm going to say, hey, someone told me, blah, blah, blah. Is that true? I'm not about the bullshit. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. One final card, and then I really got to go. Can't leave you guys without poetry. So, obsessions. Maybe for some of us, we're obsessing about ourselves and being very detrimental, very self abusive, self sabotagic. The fuck does that even mean? Is that a word? Self sabotagic? Okay, let me stop being so self sabotagic. Oh shit. I opened it to the page. Card number 17. By the way, my badge number was 17 when I used to work for public safety. Thank you. 17, the human gift. Little tidbit of the human gift. Oh, heart, what is your excuse for all these blunders? Such loyalty is offered by the beloved, yet so much treason comes from you. Such kindness is offered by the beloved, yet so much defiance and resistance comes from you. Such grace is offered by the beloved, yet so much fault and failure comes from you. Such attraction is offered by the beloved with sweetness and generosity, yet such jealousy comes from you with so much doubt and suspicion. Do you bemoan your lack of faith? Do you berate yourself because you have moments where you cannot bring yourself to trust in love more than you trust in your fear? Do you lament and worry that you could or should be living in greater surrender? And yet, when is light more precious than when it arises from darkness? When is trust more admirable than when it involves an uncertain yet bold leap of faith? Human angel, your path is perfection in the divine sense, not in some artificial absence of struggle, but in the wrestling of darkness and light that ignites the fire within your holy heart. So rise up now from your doubts and admonishments and let your human self be loved. Even for all the doubt, you are still a cherished one of the great beloved and always shall be. Be kind to your heart. You may believe it to be weary from doubt and distrust. So much heartbreak and so many agonies, yet it still beats. It still persists with unquestioning allegiance to life. What a grand heart it is, this sacred heart of yours. How can it be worthy of anything other than tenderness, gratitude, acknowledgement, and appreciation? Do not plague your heart with falsehoods and expectations of some disembodied perfection. The perfection of your heart is that it still loves, even if you try to stop it with some notion of self protection from future hurt through doubt or fear. It still loves. It's perfection that it hopes even after despair, that it holds compassion even after experiences of fear. So then, what is there left to do but breathe the grandest sigh of relief and allow yourself the essential luxury of peace within? So then, everything is all right, even if at some moments it seems not to be. Still, your heart beats in honor of life. The heart can be nurtured and coaxed into gentle acceptance of all that is, and the divine sight will become available to you. Yes, sacred sight is what is behind this oracle for you now. You're meant to be witnessing something important, something that will make the presence of the divine in your affairs more real to you. It will be something you can come to count on at all times, and in that, gain greater peace and the realization that yes, it's safe to trust and to surrender. Indeed, it's only safe, sane, and sensible way to live. It is almost the most fun way to live, and you're allowed to live this way if you so choose. It is not shirking your duty as a responsible adult. It's not deluding yourself and turning away from the real world. Rather, surrender is placing responsibility where it's best placed, firmly in the hands of that part of you wise enough to know the great beloved is wiser still, and that your life unfolds according to the great beloved's grace. So for now, take comfort in this oracle. Just for a moment, let your heart be honored and loved by you, and imagine that you can crack open a window in the dustiest chamber of your own heart temple to let the light of the divine stream in. You may see the angel reaching to assist you. You may receive the gift of understanding, insight, and revelation. You may feel peace, or you may finally allow your heart to break once more to shed those old grievances and be free and fresh to live and love again. Or you may quietly realize you're human. You are light and dark, of heaven and of earth. What a perfect blend you are of all that can possibly be. You are an extraordinary, living, divine experiment in the making. And you are sacred, cherished, and loved by the great beloved. So do not fear your fear, but do doubt your doubt with compassion. Let it be and let it go. You are human after all, and your journey is beyond description. Just remember, if you are ever in need of the great beloved, there's a place where sacred tryst is always available to you. In the temple of your heart, with a window cracked open so that doubt can fly out and love can breathe freely. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. It's time for you to be your own priority. It's time to prioritize your healing, your regained strength, inner, under, and overstanding of yourself and soul, allowing yourself to become free to unfold in whatever way it is your soul requires you to. Letting go of these preconceived notions of how your life is supposed to be, who's supposed to be in it, how it's supposed to be lived, all of these really unrealistic expectations of such a profound spiritual process. It's time to just open your hand so all the things that don't belong with you can be set free, and all the things that were always rightfully yours can be once again placed into your hand. It's time. You have to choose yourself. No one's going to choose you for you. You have to choose yourself, Pisces. Being one of you, I know until I chose myself, I was surrounded by people who agreed with my distorted view of myself, that they were always more important, that they deserved more, and that they were entitled to take from me things I didn't even have to give. And until I recognized this for myself, this is what I was surrounded by all the time. Not because there's no good left in this world, but because this fractured heart of mine, that's all I ever looked for. That's my own toxicity, where I have to constantly find people who need me, because without being needed, without being in service, without being basically a grunt, I don't know if you guys can see me. Can you guys hear me? You guys have to choose yourself. Once you begin the process of choosing yourself, choosing your healing, choosing your realignment between yourself and your soul, once you begin doing that, the people you need in your life to help support you, encourage you, just love you unconditionally, they'll begin finding their way to you. Then you'll begin to really recognize life actually is very beautiful. Even without all the pomp and circumstance that society teaches us we need to have in order to be verified as successful, life will become so beautiful and so perfect, leaving you wanting for nothing. And that's a beautiful way to live. Very, very beautiful way to live. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me when I'm live. And if you guys want that text notification right before I go live. There's instructions in the video description to sign up for that. Sorry I didn't send one out this morning. I'm always thinking of California time, and it's hella butt ass early in California. So, yes. All right. I love you guys. Bye.